All right, let's kick things off with a question that sounds simple, but, well, it's really not. How many articles are in the Indian Constitution? The answer, you'll see, isn't just a number. It's actually a fascinating story about how the world's largest democracy works.
So, go on. Take a guess. 100? Maybe 200? The truth is, it's a bit of a trick question, and that's exactly what makes it so interesting. This isn't just a piece of trivia. It's a window into how this incredible nation has grown and changed over time.
Okay, so here it is, the two numbers at the heart of our story. Back in 1950, when it all started, there were exactly 395 articles. But today, that number is closer to 448. So what gives? How did we get more articles without changing the number of the final one? Let's dive in and figure it out.
To really get how we ended up with the number we have today, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning. We're talking about the original blueprint, the foundational document that a newly independent India created for itself.
395. That was it. That was the original, definitive number. Not 394, not 396. This was the complete, carefully crafted framework for an entire nation ready to go.
And you know, they didn't just throw these 395 articles into one giant list. No way. It was incredibly organized. The articles were grouped into 22 distinct parts, kind of like chapters in a book, and they were backed up by 8 schedules, all of it designed to cover, well, pretty much everything.
This whole incredible document came to life on 2 really important dates. First, it was officially adopted on November 26, 1949. Then, on January 26, 1950, a day we now all know as Republic Day, it came into full effect. That was the moment the blueprint became reality.
But here's what I think is the most brilliant part of the whole story. The framers of the Constitution knew that a document written in 1950 couldn't possibly predict all the challenges of the future. So they built in a way for it to grow, to adapt. And that brings us to how a constitution evolves.
And you know who said it best? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chief architect of the Indian Constitution. He didn't see it as just some static legal text. He called it a vehicle of life, something meant to breathe and change with the times. That philosophy right there is the secret to its longevity.
So, how does it grow? Well, there's a special tool built right into the system. It's called a constitutional amendment. It's all laid out in Article 368, and it gives Parliament the power to add, remove, or tweak the Constitution to keep it relevant for a modern India.
And this isn't just theory, you guys. We've seen this in action time and time again. Look at 1976. The 42nd Amendment didn't just change an article, it added a whole new part on fundamental duties. Then in 1992, you had 2 huge amendments that added entire sections for local governments. This is how the Constitution expands from the inside out.
Okay, so we know it's massive, and we know it's designed to grow. But what is actually in all these articles? Let's peel back the cover for a super quick tour inside this incredible document. Think of this as your quick start guide. Part 3, that's where you'll find your fundamental rights. Parts 5 and 6 lay out the entire structure for the national and state governments. Part 15 handles everything about elections. And hey, look there, Part 20. That's where you find that all-important Article 368 that allows for all this growth. It's a beautifully logical system.
And to really feel the power locked inside these parts, just listen to the words of Article 14. This isn't some dry, dusty legal jargon. This is the heartbeat of Indian democracy, written in language that is direct, powerful, and a promise of equality for every single person.
So if we zoom back out, you really start to see just how huge the scope is. I mean, it covers the whole shebang. We're talking about your personal rights and duties, the entire framework for the government and the courts, and even what to do in a national emergency or which languages get official status. It's the ultimate rulebook. Okay, that's a lot of numbers, parts, and schedules, I get it. But this brings us to the most important question of all. Why does any of this actually matter to you? Why should you care about this structure in the real world?
Well, it matters for a whole bunch of reasons. If you're a student studying for competitive exams, knowing this stuff is absolutely crucial. It could be the one question that makes all the difference. For every single citizen, this is about empowerment. Understanding your rights is the very first step to protecting them. And really, for all of us, it's just an amazing example of how a nation's core rules can stay strong while adapting to a changing world.
You see, we started this whole thing by asking how many. But by now, I hope you see that the number itself isn't the real answer. The real magic is understanding the what and the how.
what these articles actually do, and how they all work together as this single cohesive living system.
So, let's put it all side by side one last time, just to see how far it's come. We started with the blueprint, 395 articles, 22 parts, 8 schedules. And today, we have the living document, around 448 articles, 25 parts, and 12 schedules. The growth is undeniable, and now you know exactly how it happened.
This whole journey from 395 to nearly 450 articles proves one thing. The Constitution is always in a conversation with its people and its time. And that really just leaves us with one final exciting question. As India continues to write its story, what will the next chapter for its Constitution look like?